I will start. Hmm.
Hi everyone. Today we are here to explain our project, Student Performance Analysis. My name is Deepak Kumar and my student ID is PDS 25 underscore 08021 with my two teammates Pranay and Niharika. So the goal of our across different subjects and identifying trends based on gender, parental education, lunch type, and test preparation. The insights will help educators to improve their curriculum and provide some targeted support and understand the performance gaps also. So, first of all, I have imported some necessary libraries like Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. So then I have using pandas, I have imported the data set. Then I have displayed this some basic information about the data set using df.info and head. So here we can see that there are 1000 rows and 8 columns are present in our data set. Uh, then I have checked for missing values and data types also. There are no missing values are there, and the data types of all the columns are in its proper format. Then I have checked for duplicates rows, and there are none of any duplicated rows are present. Then I have printed summary statistics for numeric columns. Here we can see that the count, mean, standard deviation, mean for all the numeric columns here. Then I have written the columns overview here. There we can see that genders represent the student gender, race and ethnicity represent ethnic groups from group A to E, and all. Then then I have renamed the columns to be easier to work with because all the columns have starting from lowercase. So I have to make it start from uppercase also. So I have here renamed the column. Then I have printed the head. Here we can see that all the columns are in its proper format. Then I have created some visuals using Matplotlib and Seaborn. So first visual I have created distribution of maths score, reading score, and writing score. So I have found some conclusion here. All three subjects, maths, reading, and writing, have roughly normally distributed, and math scores are slightly more spread out with some few outlier over here. We can see over here. So the second visual that I have created is average score by gender. And here we can see like in math score, where represented by blue color, we can see over here the males perform better in that subject. Then we can see the reading score, the females perform better in this subject. And then we can see the green bar over here, which represent writing is score. Again, this in this section, female performed well. Uh, like then we have our third visual test preparation scores impact. Here we can see that student who completed the test preparation course score significantly higher across all subjects that we can see over here. The bars of completed uh, course are higher than none. So from now, my friend Pranay will
Okay. 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 Thank you, Deepak. From now, I will explain the project from my screen. Deepak, could you please stop sharing your screen? I will share my screen now. So, hello guys. Can you see my screen? Hello.
yes, yes,
Okay.
we can see
S-
everything.
Yeah. Can you guys able to see my screen there? I was asking. So, hello everyone, my name is Pranay, and the further part of the process I will explain by me. After that, we went for the checking the how authenticity gonna affect the student score. So, we have included the math score, reading score, and writing score, and we have taken the average of all the score depend on the authenticity. So, on this graph, we can clearly say that group E has the highest average scores among all those groups. So group E is performing better in terms of their all the scores. So and further we went to check the parental education influences how the parental education can influence the student scores. So for that we have done the same thing that we have taken the average of three courses, and for that we use the uh, uh, group bar chart to visualize those things. And on the basis of that we can say that visualization part, we can say that the more educated the parents are, there's children have more likely to score higher in the exam. So because the parents who has bachelor degree and master's degree, thus children are scoring much higher as compared to the others children. That we can say from this graph. And after that we also went for to visualize the lunch type will gonna affect the student scores or not. So for that we also done the same graph, because it means like we have used the same visualization throughout the whole insights, so it will more easily readable. And on the basis of this visualization we can say that uh, the student who are getting the standard meal are scoring more as compared to the student who get the free or reduced meal. So, so we need to change the meal plan for the student who got the free and reduced meal. And further, used the pair plot to see how the each score is gonna affect the different another score, means like how the math score is gonna affect the reading and writing score, and vice versa. And by showing this pair plot we can easily say that there is a strong positive relationship between all these scores, because the scatter plot is constantly increases compared miss constantly increasing when compared to the math score with the reading and writing score. And further we uh, went to analyze the correlation between each course in terms of number. For that we have used the heat map, and from that heat map we can see that reading and writing has a strong correlation, which is about 0.95, which is considered to be very strong. And also there is a correlation scores between math and reading, which is nearly close to 0.82, and which is also considered as a strong correlation. After that we went for the statistical analysis, because before here we are doing all the things by visualizations. To support that visualization we need some kind of proof, so we done the statistical testing in terms of gender. So, gender on the particular scores like math score, reading score, and writing score. So, by using the T test, we can say that the male scored the significantly higher in math than female, because of it has a statistical value of 5.38, which is considered to be good enough, and probability is slightly lower. So men scores higher in math as compared to the female, because of that statistical scores. And after that we also have the reading score, and in the reading score we have a value T is minus 7.96, which says that female scored significantly higher in reading as compared to the male. For that means like to explain these kinds of logic behind this course, I need to explain the concept behind the statistics test, and which is not the part of this presentation. So I will clearly gonna explain the values. So, and in the writing score, female has outperformed males in compared to the as compared to the male in terms of writing, because they have statistical value in the negative form is like minus 9.98. And further we went for correlation between education level and score. So we have done some ordinal encoding in that, and it shows that co correlation between parental education and math score is 0.159, and also parental education and reading score is 0.191, and parental education and writing is 0.237. So while students with more educated, it shows that the student with more educated parents has slightly higher score than student with the uneducated parents. And further, we went for chi-square test for gender versus test preparation. So here we can say that contingency table shows that uh, uh, how many female have completed the test preparation course, and how many male has completed a test preparation score. It's like exact the it's showing the value what is present in the data, that is 184 174. And to test this data is correct or not, we use the chi-square test. And from doing this coding, we got the value of chi statistic is 0.02, which is which is quite good. Means like chi-square statistic confirm that whatever the random variable we have take, it is closer to the actual value. So that is about the statistical testing. And further we went to test the variability of the particular of the scores. So for that we have take the standard deviation, and the more the standard deviation, the higher the variability in the data. So in that we can see that the writing score has a much more higher standard deviation compared to the others. So it's like it is not much more difference in all of them, but it slightly more than the rest of the course. So we can say that the writing score has higher variability, so it is more volatile as compared to others. That was all about my part, and the further part of the project will explain by Niharika. Over to you, Niharika. I will stop sharing my screen now.
Yes, thank you, Pranay. So, hello everyone, I'm Niharika, and my student code is PDS 25 underscore 08002, and I will be explaining the SQL part of our project. So, for the SQL part, I have picked seven queries that will generate some very useful insights about the data. Since we have picked the education tracking performance of students, and we have data like their parental education, whether they had lunch and what kind of lunch was it, and whether they completed their test preparation. So we could generate some very interesting insights based on all of this data. So the first query that I picked was rank all students by their overall average score. It shows the top performing students across all subjects. For this, I'm using dense rank window function and ordering by the average score. I will
Niharika,
just
please share the screen.
quickly. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Pranay. I will share my screen.
Yeah.
So I was saying the first query I picked was ranking all the students by their overall average score. For this, I'm using dense rank window function. I will quickly run this so we can see the results. Yeah, those are the results. This particular student whose parental education is associate's degree has got the first rank, shared by two other students. And then since I'm using 10th rank, it is not skipping any ranks, and we get the actual ranks for all of the students. Now for the second query, I'm I picked compare each student's math score with the group's average. So what this basically does is calculates the average score by gender, like what the average math score was for males and females, and then compares a particular student with their gender. Like suppose if Pranay is a male, it will compare his score with all of the other males in the group. I will quickly run this query and show you the results. So if this student scored math score of 77, but their average math by gender score was 63.63. So this is higher than average. The next query that I picked was top scoring student in each parental education group. Since the parental education of the students varied a lot, like some were from high school, some only did a bachelor's degree, and some did a master's degree as well. It was interesting to see how parental education affects the students. So I wanted to see which are the top performers. So I will run the query. And we can see that there are around five female who did well who were the top scoring student in most of the degrees. And then there was one male who scored the best with a bachelor's degree, whose parent had bachelor's degree. So my next query is most improved subject per student. This shows how well a particular student is in a particular score, or if there are any strengths or weaknesses that they have. Let me run this, and we can see that this first student scored 45 in math, 73 in reading, and 70 in writing. And there, if we take their best score, which is 73, and take the lowest score, which is 45, and subtract it, we will get a difference of 28, which is actually the largest in this whole group. So this student would need to focus on maths. Next query that I picked was gender-wise performance in each subject. It quantifies performance gaps between genders across subjects. Let me just run this. Okay. So for math score, I have a male average, I have a female average, and then I have the gap between those two. So for math score, the male are slightly higher than the female ones, and the gap is of five reading, not reading, five scores. And then there is the reading score, which shows that male was at 65 and female was at 72, which shows that female score is actually quite higher than the male ones with a gap of 7 scores. And then for writing as well, again, it is kind of similar. The male one is 63 and female average is 72, which has a gap of 9 scores, 9 points. Then the sixth query I picked was subject-wise percentile rank of students. It shows how students stack up in each subject individually. I will quickly run the query so we can see the results. Okay. Here are the math score, reading score, writing score of this particular student and the percentile. We can see if the percentile increases, the lower we go because it is from it is in a ascending order. So we will get the highest ones as we scroll below. As you can see, it is changing. So next query that I picked was next and the last one, average score by test preparation and lunch status. Let me run this. I wanted to see here like how test preparation and the lunch that the students were having made a difference to their scores. So for this particular group who completed their test preparation and had a lunch that was free or reduced, there were total 131 students in this group. Their math average was 63, reading average was 69, and writing average was 70. If we can see the writing average is highest for this particular group who had the test preparation completed and lunch as standard. And for this group, reading average is also the highest and math is also the highest. So this shows that if the students are completing their test preparation and also have a standard lunch, then they are scoring a lot higher than their peers. So the insights that we can draw from all of this data is firstly that parents' education level makes a little bit of difference on the scores. Like there is not that much difference we could see. But the parents who had a master's degree or a bachelor's degree, their children tend to do a lot better from the other students whose parents only had a high school degree. High school degree. The other insight that we could draw is this one with the test prep as well as the lunch. If you have completed your test prep, you have a higher chance of scoring better than the rest of the students. Similarly, if you have a standard lunch rather than the free or reduced one, then you again have a higher chance of scoring well in your exams than your other members of the group. So for this, what targeted advice we would particularly suggest is to keep an eye on the students whose parents are uneducated, or they don't have the highest degree or a diploma. So because those are the students that could do with improvement. And then for test preparation, it would be better if there were a program that would encourage students to complete their test preparation so that they would score well. And for the lunch as well, it would be better if it was possible to run some kind of program that would help the students that had a reduced lunch or a free lunch get the standard lunch so they could also perform well in their exams. So that was all from our side. Um, we have covered all of the insights and all of the parts of our project that we did. Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank
Pranay,
you
you
guys for watching the video.